Finished up with How to Train Your Dragon 3D Blu-ray, and we're continuing our way through the Blu-ray alphabet. So here we have the Hulk, and you may be thinking to yourself, I don't remember the Blu-ray edition coming with this Hulk packaging. Well, that's because it was the DVD edition that did, but I sold the DVD, the 2-disc DVD that came with it, and replaced it with the Blu-ray version of that. And what's cool about this set, other than the big 3D packaging, is it comes with a reprint of the original comic, Hulk #1, just a slightly smaller version of it. And then underneath you have a bonus 3rd disc with content that was only in this edition, and it was not on the Blu-ray. So we have this DVD here with some extra content, and booklet, and some storyboard artwork. It's actually never been opened, still in the original packaging, and another art book with some awesome comic art. And I loved Ang Lee's Hulk. I thought the effects were great. I love when he's out in the desert punching tanks. I thought it looked a lot better and had a much better, much more thorough feel than the remake with Ed Norton. Although I preferred maybe Ed Norton to Eric Bana and Liv Tyler to the lady in this one. I did prefer the Thunderbolt in this version, General Thunderbolt. I thought he was much better than William Hurt and the Incredible Hulk. But overall, I think I like this one slightly better than the reboot. Also, the thing about the reboot is it with just a few subtle changes they could have made it a sequel to this without totally nullifying this. So I thought it was a bit of a shame. Okay, here we have Inglourious Basterds on Blu-ray. I thought this was a awesome return to form for Quentin Tarantino. I didn't really dig the Kill Bill films at all, and I thought this was a blast. I actually think it's, you know, it sort of popped between this and Pulp Fiction for his best film overall. The Insider, classic Michael Mann film based on true events. Russell Crowe is amazing in this. Probably his best performance. Blu-ray looks stunning. Into the Wild, another one based on true events. Sean Penn directed film, was just beautiful, great acting. I can just kick back and just let this one wash over me. It's a pretty wonderful film. Back to Tarantino, we've got the Tarantino approved Blu-ray edition of Jackie Brown. Looks amazing. It's a wonderful film, and the only one that Tarantino has adapted somebody else's work where he's acknowledged that he's adapted it, because he is known for taking a few ideas from here. This is Jaws. I missed out on getting the digibook solely, but this has got this nice little thing here for the 100th anniversary Universal. One of the all-time great films, and this transfer is awesome. Speaking of digibooks, JFK, Oliver Stone's masterpiece, his Godfather. It's in my top 10 films of all time. This is the director's cut. Karate Kid 1 and 2. Just waiting for that 3rd one to come out on Blu-ray to complete the collection. I sold my DVD of the trilogy to get this, but still no sign of the 3rd part of the film. The first one is an all-time classic, just so watchable. One of my favourite superhero films of all time, Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass 2's on the way. I hope they don't ruin it. Matthew Vaughn directed this before he did X-Men First Class, and yeah, it's so much fun. Here's one of the ones I picked up early when I picked up just a bunch of films real cheap when I first got a Blu-ray player, just ones I could afford to get real quickly that I quite liked. I'd seen this at the movies, so I quite liked it. It's not an amazing film, but it's quite entertaining. LA Confidential, great neo-noir film here, great cast. It's funny, I really didn't like this the first time I watched it. I still don't really like the first 20 minutes or so, but the longer the film goes, the better it gets. Here's a cheap double bill I got. I got this for The Last Boy Scout and I'd never seen The Last Man Standing, which is a remake of Yojimbo, and also Yojimbo was also remade as A Fistful of Dollars. It's okay. It's not Walter Hill's best. I like Walter Hill, but Last Boy Scout, like a die-hard film with a different title. It's a lot of fun, and this print looks really nice, better than you'd think for an old catalogue title like that. Here's the Lethal Weapon box set. The local one doesn't have the special features disc that this has, but this has all 4 films and a 5th disc full of featurettes. And they've all been remastered since the original Blu-ray release, where they looked pretty shoddy. Leon Professional, both cuts, but you know, the longer cut is really the only one to watch. Lord of the Rings, one of the great fantasy films of all time. The animated version, of course, not Peter Jackson's garbage. This transfer actually got a little bit of grief in the reviewing, but I thought it was pretty damn good. Lost Boys, this is just brilliant. Lost in Translation, one of Bill Murray's best. Just a wonderful film. Makes me feel like visiting Japan. And directed by Sofia Coppola. Malcolm X, Spike Lee's best. I love films like this. Historical films with a bit of intrigue, a bit of mystery. This is a nice digibook. Double disc. Steven Seagal, more arm breaking in this than any other film I've seen. It is a badass movie. Monster Society, one of the best films to come out post Boys to Men, when a big glut of South Central gangster films came out. Directed by the Hughes brothers, the director's cut. Michael Mann. Some people don't like this, but I think it's awesome. A 2-disc collector's edition of The Mist. This comes with the director's cut version, where it's black and white, which is what he originally wanted. But the producers would see it. No one wants to see a black and white film, and they made him film it in colour, but then he had it converted to black and white, and it looks so much better in black and white. It's I recommend everyone who hasn't seen it or has seen it, if you haven't seen it in black and white, that's the way to view this film. Micro budget film that came out awesome. The guy just filmed sort of guerrilla style, and then he added with a computer, changed like road signs and everything to make it suit his film's purposes. So just travelling with like 2 crew and the 2 actors, and just in Mexico, and just getting it done, and amazing results. Another one from a British director, from David Bowie's son, is Moon, one of the best films of that year. This and Inglourious Basterds were the 2 best films of that year for me, and great sci-fi, great use of miniatures, no CG, fabulous. Wong Kar-wai, his only American film to date, English-speaking, I should say, film to date, and a lot of people don't like it, but I think they're just being picky, because he did a film with recognisable Western stars in the English language. I thought it was wonderful, and it was up there with a lot of his really good films. In the Name of the Rose, really good little mystery with a young Christian Slater alongside Sean Connery there, sort of a whodunit. Here's Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I've done a whole bunch of videos on this, so the links for that and anything else I've done videos for will be in the description. Ninja Scroll Steelbook. Great stuff. This one also has another video solely dedicated to it. Ninth Gate, Roman Polanski. I think this is one of Johnny Depp's best performances. I'm not really a fan of Johnny Depp, but I like the films where he plays roles a little straighter, like this and Donnie Brasco. From Oliver Stone, this is the director's cut. Nixon. I mentioned earlier when I had Frost, I think on the last shelf we had Frost Nixon, which starts right where this one finishes, so they're a good double bill. Omen Trilogy has all 3 Omen films. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, classic. Onibaba, we just did a video on that this week, so you can check that out for more, from Masters of Cinema. Another one from Steven Seagal's Classic 5. I have all 5 of Steven Seagal's first film. His first 5 films are all amazing, and from there on out it's not really worth talking about, but this is a nasty piece of work. It's Payback. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Payback. I saw it at the cinema, but I got really interested in picking up this edition because of the wildly different
versions. The original, the director sort of handed in his rough cut and was told to make a lot of changes. The director was the Oscar-winning writer of LA Confidential, and they said, no, we want you to make these changes, and he said, no, I don't want to make these changes. So they fired him and they brought in another director, and they filmed a bunch more scenes and changed a bunch of stuff and released it. And it was a pretty okay hit for Mel Gibson there, but since then fences have been mended and they allowed him to go back and edit together and finish up his version, which has a completely different third act, has a whole subplot that was added and taken out, has no voiceover, has different music, has different film treatment, so the film stock is treated differently in exposure, and it looks like completely different colouring. And I love the director's cut. It has a better look, has a better feel, and it's like a sort of a real badass homage to the 70s. Planet of the Apes collection, all 5 movies, including an alternate cut of Conquest. It starts with R, but I wanted to keep it with the other Planet of the Apes films, so the reimagining of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, the prequel to Planet of the Apes. It's pretty, which I thought was really well done, and surprisingly well done. I wasn't expecting very much from it after Tim Burton's Abortion, which you'll notice is not in the collection. Predator. This is the heavy DNR version. Basically the story behind this is that it looks terrible, and so people were pretty excited for a Blu-ray. The original Blu-ray release came out, and it was bare bones and was a slight improvement on the DVD, but still had lots of scratches and blemishes, and needed a lot of cleaning up. So they decided, after listening to the fans, that they would clean it up, but they cleaned it up way too much, and basically scrubbed all the grain and a lot of the detail out. But they did port over all of the special features from the DVD for this one. So I had my choice. I'd sold my DVD because it just looks, after re-looking at it, just looked terrible. And I got this, and it does look really weird, but I think I still prefer it to the sort of terrible original Blu-ray they released, and it does have all those special features. So still sort of the best of two bad options, and maybe they'll eventually release a nicer release of this, and then I'll get rid of this. But for now, that's the way it is. Here's the underrated Predator 2. I actually think I prefer this to Predator. I don't like Predators, so you'll notice that isn't here. But yeah, this is really good. Primal Fear, I got this as part of a 2-pack with Shutter Island. I was buying it for Shutter Island, but I always liked this film. I always thought it was Ed Norton's best performance. Public Enemies. This film gets a lot of flack, but I quite enjoy it. Another one of the Johnny Depp ones I don't mind. He's playing a more serious character. Director-approved transfer of Pulp Fiction. Pursued, great noir western from back in the day. Here's the only 2 Rambo films you need to have. The original, First Blood, and the 4th one, Rambo. They sort of do a nice little cycle. The other 2 films in between are just garbage. Return of the Living Dead Steelbook. One of my prized possessions. Comes with a booklet. I've got a video on this if you want to have a closer look. Here's another one of these Arrow Academy ones we saw in earlier videos that have the window with the 4 different covers. I guess I've just gone with this one here. But a great old heist film from Jules Dassin. It's the Rocky collection. Not the best transfers for a lot of these, but I love these films, especially the first one and the last one. I picked this up cheap. I like certain things about it and hate other things about it. I like the first 20 minutes and the last final battle, but a lot of the Hollywood crap that Spielberg squeezed in the middle I don't care for, but the best stuff from it reminds me of Band of Brothers, which I like a lot. Scream Trilogy, it's a 5-film set. It just has 2 feature-length documentaries that come with it. And I didn't really like the 4th one, but I thought, oh well, I may as well I managed to get that cheap as well to complete the collection. Serenity, Mr. Joss Whedon, great stuff. 7, some pretty grim watching, you're not always in the mood for something like this. Shaun of the Dead, it's a limited edition cover. the film about the fake moon landing. Great stuff.